Welcome students to another session of grade 11 biology. Today in this video we are going to discuss about morphology of flowering plants. Let's start. Morphology. Morphology is the study of external forms of organisms. Here in morphology we discuss about the physiological characteristics, the external. Angiosperms, being the highly developed plants, are categorized by presence of roots, stems, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Mainly, the flowering plants are divided into two systems, that is, root system and shoot system. Root system, that is underground part, and shoot system, that is above the ground. Let's move ahead with the flower and inflorescence. Flower. Flower is a modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. Internodes do not elongate and the axis get condenses. The apex produces various floral appendages laterally at successive nodes instead of leaves. Here you can see in the figure inflorescence meristem, right? That is converted into floral meristem. You can find it out, floral meristem, which produces different various types of floral appendages. When a shoot tip transforms into a flower, it is solitary, as you can see in these two here as well. The shoot tip is transforming into a flower. Now, what is an inflorescence? Inflorescence is arrangement of clusters of flowers on the floral axis, and there are two types of inflorescence, racemose and cymose. Racemose. In this, the main axis continues to grow. Here you can see in this, the main axis is continue to grow and flowers are born laterally in an acropetal succession. Acropetal succession, that means you will find the older one at the base and the new flower at the tip, apex. Whereas in cymose, it has basipetal order. Basipetal, at the base you will find the new flower, right? And older flower are at the tip. So it is opposite to racemose. Cymose, the main axis terminates. Whereas in racemose, the main axis continues to grow. Whereas in cymose, it gets terminated. Hence, in cymose, we'll find the limited growth. Flower is a reproductive unit in the angiosperm. It is meant for sexual reproduction. Flower has a stalk, which is known as pedicle. It is swollen. It has swollen end, which is known as thalamus or receptacle. Reduced leaf found at the base of the pedicel, which is known as a bract. Flower with bracts are known as bractate flower, and those without bract are known as ebractate flowers. Typically, flower has four whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. In some flowers like lily, the calyx and corolla are fused. They are not distinguished easily, and that is known as perianth. The new term is there, which is perianth. When a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, flower is known as bisexual flower, and if a flower having either only androecium or gynoecium, it is known as unisexual flower. Now let's discuss about type of flowers. Based on the symmetry, flowers are of three types: actinomorphic, which is radial symmetry, zygomorphic, which is bilateral symmetry, and asymmetry, which is irregular. Actinomorphic. Here, a flower can be divided into two equal radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center. So, for example, here, if you cut this flower from this center, then also we have the equal path. Any radially, if we cut the plant, but this plane should pass from the center. Examples are mustard, datura, and chili. Zygomorphic. Here, a flower can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane. Examples are pea, gulmohar, bean, and cassia. Asymmetric, which is irregular. Here, a flower cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane. An example is kana. Now, on the base, that was about based on the symmetry. Flowers based on number of floral appendages, for example, trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous. Trimerous are those which are the floral appendages, flower having floral appendages which are multiple of 3. In tetramerous, multiple of 4, and in pentamerous, it is multiple of 5. Then the flower depend or based on the position of calyx, corolla, and androecium in respect to ovary on thalamus. Here we are discussing about the position of ovary on the thalamus if we compare the calyx, corolla, androecium. So on that, the flower is categorized as hypogynous, perigynous, or epigynous. Hypogynous. Here, gynoecium, that is ovary, occupies the highest position, while other parts of plants are situated below it. That is, ovary is superior. Examples are mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Here you can see in the diagrams that ovary is the superior position. Second one is perigynous, where gynoecium is situated in the center and other parts of flowers are located on the rim of thalamus. Ovary is half inferior. Examples are plum, rose, and peach. The third one is epigynous, where ovary is inferior. The margin of thalamus grows upward, closing the ovary. That look like that the ovary is inferior. Examples are guava, cucumber, ray fluorescent of sunflower. Moving ahead with the parts of flower. The flower has 4 parts: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Number 1, calyx. Calyx is the outermost wall of flower. It is made up of sepals. Generally, sepals are green in color. They are leaf-like in structure, and the primary function of calyx is to protect flower during the time of birth, that is early stage, birth stage. Calyx may be gamosepalous or polysepalous. Gamosepalous, that is, the sepals are united, and polysepalous, where the sepals are free. The second one is corolla. It is the whorl inner to calyx. It is composed of petals. They are usually bright in color, and the main function, primary function of corolla is to attract insects for pollination. Corolla may be gamopetalous, that means petals are united, or polypetalous, that means petals are free. Shape and color of corolla vary in plants. Corolla may be tubular, it may be bell shaped, it may be funnel shaped, or wheel shaped. there is one characteristic, that is aestivation, which is related to corolla. What is aestivation? That is, it's a mode of arrangement of sepals and petals in floral bud. There are 4 types of aestivation: valvate, twisted, imbricate, and vexillary. Number 1, valvate. Sepals or petals in a whirl just touch one another at the margin without overlapping. Here you can see that margin, they just touch each other. They are not at all overlapping, right? And the example here is calotropis. The second one is twisted, where one margin of the appendages overlap the other one. So one is free, the other one is inside. One is outside and the one is inside, next to one, and so on. Examples are China rose, lady's finger, and cotton. The third type of aestivation is imbricate, where the sepals or petals overlap one another but not in any particular direction. Let's see here. If you talk about this petal, both the ends are inside, whereas here one is overlapping other. So overlapping is there, but there is no particular direction. Examples are cassia and gulmohar. The fourth one is vexillary. Vexillary, which is also, it is commonly found in Papilionaceae family. That's where the name is Papilionaceae. In this, there are 5 petals. The largest, which is known as standard, overlaps the 2 lateral, which is known as wing. So largest here you can see standard, right? Let us, yes, this is standard, which overlaps the 2, which are known as wings, which in turn overlap 2 smallest anterior petals, which are known as keel. So here is third number. So standard, number 1, number 2 is wing, and number 3 is keel, which are connected to each other. Examples are P and B. So in this part, in this video, we have discussed about the flower, parts of flower, aestivation. Thanks for watching.